Alright, we've got Rasposo in the orange playing as Ryota up against Z1GMA playing Rhomb in the green. Not a matchup you get to see very often. Rhomb is definitely not the strongest commander right now. And they're taking it to jungle season, you know, the counterpart to open season with a frog instead of a rifle. Makes a very interesting dynamic. You see very different playstyles coming out. The rifle allows for a lot of like anti-infantry options, where on the flip side, the frog allows for some kind of interesting plays defensively. I do think we're going to start seeing people do things more with like trebuchets and ballista, but then again, Test Your Metal September is basically over at this point, so we'll be going into Test Your Metal October, which basically starts as soon as the stream ends. So if you're watching this on YouTube, that event has already started, and we will be getting ready for Test Your Metal November. I hope you get to look forward to some of the games we're going to see out of October. We've got some interesting maps lined up for that event. But anyway, back into this game. Ryota has Groove already well on the way to tier 2, which, you know, isn't that surprising. Ryota is very, very fast at charging, and yeah, I mean literally the fastest charging commander in the game. See a lot of cool gameplay out of him. Oh, and he's just gonna straight up kill the sword. Okay. But favoring just destroying the opponent's army. And building a lot of groove, actually. You know, killing a sword with commander is a nice chunk of groove. Alright, Rhomb, what are you gonna do? Knocks building down? Yeah. And Rhomb is a commander that could afford to be very aggressive, so he's gonna be pushing forward a lot. There's no rifle to contend with, so he can just be aggressive in this phase. In this case, he can just go up into his opponent's army and be like, "Rah, I'm Rhomb," and not care at all about, you know, a bunch of swords, a bunch of spears. Okay, Ryota just takes a bit of counter-attack damage, doesn't really care. He's almost at tier 2. He actually probably is going to be tier 2 at the end of this turn. 195. Close enough. Rhomb has Groove himself. He's looking at tier 1. He could just walk forwards and do some damage and just body block if he wanted to. I think he might have actually been able to reach this knight over in the corner. It'd be quite funny. But you do run the risk of getting trapped if you go for that, so not surprised he decided against it. He just holds center. But here's the interesting thing there, is Rhomb can go anywhere. He could actually just go and kill this knight if he wanted to. However, Rasposo has a lot of knights on the map, so Z1GMA does have to be a bit careful. However, Z1GMA has a golem, and, you know, while all these knights are really good, very strong, golem count, like, matters a lot. Especially when you're backing up like a heavy commander like Rhomb. Alright, knight comes in, does a whole bunch of damage. Gonna get chased out of this corner. More knights come in, good knight crit there. Tier 2 groove is available. The Rasposo could go for something very fancy. That being said, he's up against 2 golems, so he does have to be very careful. And the big thing here is, you know, can you press the advantage of having all these knights to just run over villages? Where golems are not quite as effective as that, at doing that, sorry. And can you make something out of Ryota tier 2? Because that is a really strong option. Or I suppose we're just doing a bit of repositioning game right now. Rhomb might get tier 2 and actually use it before Ryota gets a chance to use their tier 2. Okay, we're going to see more and more pressure getting lined up here. Knight crit positioned perfectly to support this knight. I think there's a second knight crit and Ryota tier 2, so if this golem goes in, you're gonna get absolutely battered for it. And it's gonna go for it. Question is, you know, will that actually survive or not? Damages Ryota, interesting play. Goes for another one. Oh, we're gonna see a lethal attempt here? Was he just going for that just to build groove? Rhomb almost has tier 2. 186. Okay. Gonna go for a hit with the mage as well. He has to finish with Rhomb. This might be a really clutch lethal. And 192. Is it actually gonna matter? I think he gets a movement speed bonus, so he actually is gonna get the kill. Oh no. And Rasposo just leaves himself a little bit too open. And Sigma just spots it and gets the lethal. That was really clutch. And well played. Sigma gonna take the game. Rasposo was looking really strong. He had all this knight count. Was able to put a lot of pressure in, had some really good positioning, was gonna get a big punish on this golem. But Ryota was just left a little bit too open. Really nice use of the frog pull to damage their own units as well. Just allow for another sword suicide. And yeah, you cannot leave Commander open on that many sides next to a road, because like all those lethal opportunities suddenly pop up. And yeah, just really good spot by Sigma, gets the punish and takes the game.